How we doing, guys? We are looking at Text and Test 4, Chapter 1.4, page 18. We're looking at question 6, question 7, and question 10. This is working with fractions inside fractions. Question 6, part 2, asks us to solve this or to simplify this fraction. Just like with every fraction, you can multiply the top and bottom of the fraction by the same number, it won't change. So, you know yourselves, if you take 1/2, multiply top and bottom by 3, you get 3/6. It's the same fraction, just in a different form. So we're going to pick a number to multiply top and bottom by here, and that number, if we look at the three denominators we have in our fraction, if we pick the lowest multiple they have in common, which for these three numbers is 24, that's going to simplify this fraction if we multiply top and bottom by that multiple. So over here we're going to get 48/3 when we multiply this by 24 plus 120/6 all divided by 72/8. So it simplifies out. 48/3 is 16 plus 6/120 is 20 divided by 72/8 is 9. 36/9, and the whole thing simplifies down to 4. In an algebraic context like 7 part 2, same idea, the two denominators of the fractions inside, a common multiple here will be x multiplied by y. So you can say multiply the top of my fraction by xy and multiply the bottom of my fraction by xy. So the top, I'm going to leave it in factorized form. As a general rule, we like to leave things in factorized form until we discover we can't do anything more. The reason being, factors cancel, whereas if you've multiplied it out, you might not spot what the factors are that are going to cancel. Okay, so we multiply here by xy, we get xy over x, and here by xy, we get xy over y. But of course, x's cancel here as a common factor, so we can tidy up that fraction to y. This one tidies up to x, and we're left with xy times x plus y all over, well, that's y plus x. That's the same number as x plus y. So that's a common factor. Again, x plus y multiplied by xy. So it's a factor because you're multiplying. You're left with xy over 1 if you like, but that's just xy. Finally then, question 10. Same idea, just a little bit more involved. Common factor is x times x minus 2. Multiply top and bottom of our big fraction by x minus 2. What do we get here? We get 1 times x by x minus 2 plus 2 times x minus 2, all divided by this x. That's the top of our fraction. The bottom of our fraction, x plus 2 times x minus 2, multiplied by, and multiply, it's always the top of the fraction that are impacted, so multiplied by x, and multiplied again by x minus 2. So the whole purpose of that is it lets this fraction tidy up to 2 times x minus 2, and this fraction tidy up to x plus 2 multiplied by x. So what do we have here? X times x minus 2 plus 2 times x minus 2, all divided by x plus 2 times x. If you look here, x minus 2 is a common factor, so let's take it out. X minus 2 multiplied by x plus 2, all divided by the bottom part here, x plus 2 times x. And again, we have a common factor. X plus 2 is common, so you are left with x minus 2 all divided by x. Or if you wanted to tidy that up in a different way, you could say x into x goes once, minus 2 divided by x, 2 over x. So that's how you do this type of question. I'm going to ask you now on page 18 to do question 6 part 1, 7 part 1, and 9 part 1. And in class, we're going to do questions 6 to 12. Thank you.